outside of the news station WDBJ, where Allison Parker and Adam Ward worked, but were mainly considered like family members by many folks here at the station. A lot of media gathered outside the news station right now. Also, lots of folks in the community. You can see a small crowd gathering right here. What I wanted to show you this hour was the aftermath of that crash. I'm just a few feet away from where the plane crashed at the end of the runway. You can see lots of debris here in the field. Investigators still on scene trying to piece together exactly what happened here. Now, they've been combing the area for hours. This looks like a knife or an axe just went right down the middle of this tree. Other trees have been uprooted from the ground and have fallen on top of homes, power lines, and even in roads. When you get near the actual road and a car just whizzes by and kicks up a cloud of dust, and it kind of just smacks you in the face and makes you choke a little bit. Some areas the dust is so thick that you can kind of just scrape it up with your hands. Our news van here, this fluffy kind of snow, very easy to just grab, and it's also very wet. So this is what's on your car if you have not been outside. This is kind of the dangerous part here too. As you can see, some icicles starting to form. 65 to 70% is a good range. If they can't answer those questions, experts say there's only one choice to make. Angela Ortiz was flown here from New York through a special service called Castle International. Her family didn't have to spend one dime to do something they've been waiting to do for months: hug and embrace their loved one. Angela Ortiz is keeping a promise she once made to her daughters.
I told you I was coming home soon.
A promise that she'd be back home to hug and kiss them.
Hi! How are you?
Something she couldn't do for months.
Are you happy I'm home?
Home is Winston-Salem, a place Ortiz hasn't been since February.
You're so pretty, and you cut your hair.
Away from her husband and her daughters, Ileana and Natalia.
And your hair grew. And you have lipstick on.
Ortiz has an aggressive form of leukemia and went to New York for treatment. But after nearly 4 months, doctors say her body wasn't responding. Ortiz just wanted to go back home.
Just my family, to be with my girls and my doggy.
She was able to make that trip for free through Castle International. The air ambulance and rescue service flies critical care patients at no cost to their families.
Baby.
It's a gift Ortiz's husband says will help him take care of his wife as they look for new treatment.
This is a fight that our family, and especially my wife, I won't let her give up. We'll continue as much as we can.
And a chance for much needed bonding.
Her goal is to her one main thing is to take them on vacation to Disney World. So we actually have that scheduled and set, and hopefully that could go as planned.
A really funny person, and she can make a joke out of everything.
A smile, Ortiz says, that's kept her strong on her darkest days and will help her face tomorrow, no matter what it brings.
If it's my time to go home, at least I'll enjoy them.
And again, that family says that they're already working on their family vacation, going to Disney World with their youngest daughter for her birthday.
Kim, a lot of people have gathered outside the State House this afternoon in response to this.
Neil, that's right. Like you said, lots of people have been right out here on this sidewalk all afternoon. Things have quieted down just a bit, but there's still a pretty large crowd here. Now, lots of people here are on both sides of this decision. Many very happy, saying it's been a long time coming. Others very upset, some even bringing their own Confederate flags here and feel that the flag at the State House grounds should stay.
Take it down!
A feeling of celebration erupted on the streets.
Coming down, y'all!
As hundreds gathered just a few feet away from where the Confederate flag flies outside South Carolina's State House. A flag that in just a few hours will come down.
It's a historical moment. It's a long time coming. And just to be able to stand here with my son and witness an historical event is something I can't imagine. I wish my mom was here to see it.
I can't describe it. It's been fantastic. It's been one of unity and togetherness, and people in South Carolina are coming together. It's wonderful for our state.
After weeks of debate, Governor Nikki Haley signed a historic bill to have the Confederate flag taken down from outside the State House, a change Wanda Glenn and many others have been calling for since 9 people were shot and killed at Emmanuel AME Church in Charleston last month.
It seems like that flag is always in a situation where hate prevails. And this time, that flag is coming down and love is going to prevail.
And that flag represents hatred. It represents slavery. It represents years and years of hurt and sadness.
But many also showed up with Confederate flags of their own in protest.
The flag represents heritage of both sides of the good and evil.
Alan Hole says the decision should have been left to voters, not lawmakers.
It's tyranny and big government when they went on their own whim and decided what to do with it.
I am in strong support of the flag. I was raised on it. I do not believe it's hatred at all.
Some brought their children and took pictures to document the historic vote.
They finally decided to take it down, and I want my kids to be a part of history.
Now, most of the folks that I spoke with who were out here earlier this afternoon say they plan on getting a little bit of sleep tonight and coming right back out here tomorrow morning when the flag is brought down at 10 a.m. Kneeling Haiti, the rally was mainly organized by students from Baltimore. Many of them say they stand with the people from their hometown, and they gathered here today to make sure that their voices were heard together in a positive way.
We need to know the law. We need to know what cop is in our neighborhood. We need to know that cop's background.
From powerful calls for change
we have to pay attention
to quiet moments of prayer.
Father God, I come to you today. Well, we come to you today.
Hundreds of students, teachers, and activists rallied, marched, and stood together on the campus of North Carolina A&T to start to heal.
There are other ways, effective ways, to protest and not harm our community and harm the people around us.
Many students carried signs calling for peace and prayer for the city of Baltimore after days of protests and recent turmoil after the death of Freddie Gray, an issue that hits home for students like Xavier Hunt.
We have been kind of following the case of Freddie Gray and watching everything that was going back home, and for a while we kind of said, oh yeah, we need to do something like that.
Hunt is from North Baltimore and grew up near many of the buildings that were burned down.
To see everything go down like that in one night is really hurtful.
That's where I'm from. So to see that and to have to go back to that in a few days, it's like, man. But granted, I understand why.
Students like Arnett Ward says the images from his hometown are painful to watch, but he says he's turning that pain into action, bringing together students and others in the community peacefully.
We can't be part-time activists, and a lot of this is just really teaching me. It's okay if you're upset. It's okay if you're mad, but be mindful. You know, be very cautious as to how you act.
Now, many of those organizers tell me that they plan on going back home either this weekend or in the next coming weeks to help organize back in Baltimore. Neil?
Is this ever going to end? You know, when will this end? You know, we're counting down the days. Day 60 here, day 75.
Chris Bunton and his wife Mercedes have been waiting and praying for a new heart for their 5-month-old son Jax.
Lots of prayer. You know, I can't, you know, there's days I prayed for Jax 3 or 4 times a day.
After 3 long months,
it's just relief.
Those prayers were finally answered.
I don't think we could ever ask for a better gift.
No.
I mean, because this is life again. This is like giving birth to a whole new baby.
This week, baby Jax got a heart transplant. He's been hooked up to tubes and machines at Duke Hospital ever since being diagnosed with a rare form of heart disease. Part of his heart was enlarged and too weak to pump blood throughout his body.
He was breathing really fast. He was really pale, really low temperature.
Without the transplant, doctors say Jax likely wouldn't have survived. His mom and dad moved to Durham from Greensboro to be closer to the hospital. A difficult 3 months, they say, has been like an emotional roller coaster.
You go through so many emotions in a day, and it's like, you'll be great, and then you won't be.
But that pain has now turned to joy.
Just happy tears. That's all that's it. I mean, it's just, now life can go on from here.
Jax will have to stay on a breathing machine for the next few days and will need physical therapy.
He does not know how to swallow. He does not know how to suck still.
If all goes to plan, Jax will be back home in a month. His parents say he'll still need lifelong checkups and medication. A recovery, they say, that'll take time, but will be worth it once little Jax is home again.
If you can go through this, you can go through anything.
In Durham, Kim Wynne, Fox 8 News.